Hey, welcome. Today we're going to talk through the Agent Development Lifecycle, a new methodology we've created at Arthur to reliably produce great outcomes with AI agents. Building production-ready agents is really difficult. It's full of pitfalls. And the big reason is it requires a totally new mindset and approach. We've completed dozens of agentic AI projects with our customers. Today I'm going to share what we've learned. A new development process specifically for producing reliable, robust, trustworthy agents called the Agent Development Lifecycle, or ADLC for short, which is a pretty big evolution of the traditional software development lifecycle. So the first phase of the ADLC is planning and initial implementation. This is all about aligning with your stakeholders, making sure that you understand what exactly you're trying to accomplish here with this system, and what sorts of KPIs you need to track your agent's performance with the key outcomes you're driving. Think of this as a lightweight version of a traditional requirements process. However, it can be a lot more informal and moves faster. And at the end of it, you have something that's far more useful. The next step is developing the initial implementation. You need to make sure you have some idea of what tools you'll need to accomplish the range of tasks you want to do. And so, especially what systems you'll need to integrate with. So, those could be accessing data, they could be tool calls, they could be external APIs. The goal of this process is to make sure you've identified all those dependencies. And then finally, the biggest unlock is investing a little bit of time up front to set up your evals. So you can methodically measure and evaluate your agent performance as you develop and improve the system. This is a small investment, but it literally saves hundreds of hours once you start actively iterating. And it's the only way to really understand how the changes you are making are affecting the agentic system you're building. So if you're relying just on vibes, quit it. Actually, put in some time, set up your evals, and at the same time, you also want to set up a feedback capture system, which could be as simple as catching thumbs up and thumbs down on agent outputs from your users. That way, the product manager or engineer can use that information to improve the system. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit in one of our examples. All right, the next major phase, and this is the big one, is the agent development flywheel. This is really the core of the agent development lifecycle. Here's where we're going to start using the system, and we're going to see where the system is working well and where it's not. And then, armed with that knowledge, we can make changes to improve it and continue to build our evaluation sets to make them more comprehensive as the system grows. So, take this example. Here, I'm looking at some previous interactions with the system. And these are ones where the user has tagged, hey, I hit thumbs down on this. This was not a great output. And I can see there's a pattern here. They're all people asking the inventory stocking agent for something specific, and the system's not giving them good responses. So what I'm going to do is update my evals test suite with these examples and rerun my evaluations to systematically identify those cases where it's not answering correctly. Then I can make changes to help my system perform these tasks better. This can be updating prompts, adding additional information to the context, giving the system better guidelines for tool usage, any aspect of my agentic system. And then once I've done that, I'm going to rerun the evaluation test. You can see here, as I'm making changes, I'm able to improve the performance of the set that I had previously identified as underperforming. So that's just a small snapshot of what's possible. We'll have plenty more video content on this phase coming out soon because this is where you're going to spend the majority of your time. And it's where you optimize everything from prompts to data retrievals to which models you choose to different orchestration techniques, all sorts of things here. But for now, this is a great example to help us understand the big picture. And then finally, once you've got the agents working well, the next phase is making sure you have the right governance and operations support. This is the third and final phase of the ADLC. And when we talk about governance, we want to make sure that everyone in the organization, whether they're business owners or compliance people or product managers or MLEs, that they all have the same understanding of what's going on with the agentic system. And that if it starts having issues, that they are immediately detected and can be resolved. We want them to be able to set thresholds so that if it starts to behave in a way that is out of line with what they're expecting, they get alerted. And if they need to make changes to help improve performance, add guardrails, or investigate data controls, they have it all at their fingertips. So here's a good example of a governance console that we've developed at Arthur. That's the kind of things our users use to make sure that their systems are running the way they want them to run. You can see clear metrics about the operation of the system, the business outcomes it's driving, and we can monitor and make sure that we're improving it over time. We can also spot unexpected degradations of the service and ensure that our system is giving people the results they want, and it's not creating any sorts of errors that could cause business continuity problems. So that's the ADLC in a nutshell. Feel free to reach out if you want to talk more in depth, and stay tuned for upcoming deep dive videos on some of these topics. Thanks.